Okay, how does this work? I don't know how this works. I don't see any comments. Oh boy. Can you guys see me? I don't know. Chat. Group chat. I don't know how this works. Okay, bear with me, guys. I'm trying to figure out how this works so I can see your comments. Let me see. Oh, I think I know how this works. I think I gotta go here. Hold on. And then go here. Okay, I think I figured it out. Can you guys see me? I think I'm looking at the comments here, and then I gotta have the other here. Hold on. Oh, it's working. Yay! Oh my god, these comments are going so fast. Hold on. Okay, I think I figured it out. Can you guys see me? Wait. Let's stop. Okay. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying to figure out how this whole thing works because I gotta have two screens. One where I can see that, and then your comments here. Hold on. All right. I am so happy to be here with you guys. There we go. Hello. I think we're ready to roll. Okay. I think the good thing is too that the comments here I'll be able to look at and then answer after. Okay, let's go. Start with the questions. How are you? What have you been doing during the break? We've missed you so much. I've missed you guys too, and I'm really happy to be here now. Yay! You see me, I see you too. Okay, I'm gonna pick one question and then talk about that question and then go on to the next one because I think that's gonna make it easier on everybody. So the question is, how's life in LA? Life is amazing. I'm so happy to be here. All right, let's go. You guys can start asking questions and I'll do my best to answer them. Hi. It's amazing. There's Australia, Belgium, Netherlands, New Jersey. Yay! How am I? I am wonderful. How are you? What have you been doing during? I think, are these repeating? Okay. All right, guys, you can start asking questions because now I can see the comments. Yeah, I see the questions repeating. Is it that you guys are asking the same question? I'm trying to figure out how this thing works. Okay, let's go. Okay, so why did you stop making videos? Okay, all right, I'm gonna pick a question. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how to do this. So why did I stop making videos? I just realized that I wasn't enjoying the process of making videos anymore, and I realized that I have so many other passions that I wanted to, kind of dive into and change the course of my career a little bit. So that's why I stopped making tutorials. Let's see. Do you miss Mimi now that she's in London? Of course I miss her, but we talk like every day through texting and FaceTiming, so it doesn't really feel like we're apart. For me, physical distance is not as important as having a soul connection, and we're always connected with her. So it doesn't even feel like, I haven't seen her since July, but because we talk all the time, I really don't feel like we're apart. So yeah, are you living in LA? Yes, I moved here in October, so I'm in LA now, and I love it so much. LA is definitely my home. I know that I've lived here many, many lifetimes ago because I feel like fish in the water here, and I feel like so much like I'm home, you know? You know that sense of belonging? I've actually never felt like I belonged anywhere in the world until I came to LA. Like I loved Toronto. I love living in Toronto, and it's an amazing city, and I'll always be grateful for all the wonderful experiences I had there. But I just didn't really feel like I belonged until I came here and I discovered how how I feel here. It's just amazing. Do I want to visit Portugal? I would love to. Do I write poems? Not poems, but I'm writing a lot recently. Talk to us about your career. Well, I'm actually changing a course of my career completely, and I realized that my passion is really working one-on-one with people. So what I'm transitioning into, and I'm working on all the content for the website, which I'll be launching soon. And basically, it's lifestyle coaching and spiritual advising. That's kind of like the main label that I'm giving it, but there's many layers to the kind of work that I do. So I work with entrepreneurs and visionaries that have a vision of creating a world based on love, peace, abundance, compassion, kindness, and basically I work with people that have a vision but they don't know how to make it into a reality. So I work with them one-on-one to design their ideal lifestyle and work through, because everybody has fears, it's part of being a human being. I also, because of the journey that I've gone through of clearing my own fears and working through my own fears and going after my dreams, and so grateful that I'm able to live the life of my dreams and on my way to achieving the rest of them. So I help people to break through and work through their fears so they can be aligned with their vision and their purpose in life, and it's the most rewarding thing that I have ever done to date. So that's what I'm doing now, and I haven't even officially launched, but I'm working with how many clients do I have now? I don't even know how many people I have now that I work with. And you know, when they say you find something you love, it doesn't feel like work, it's true. I'm working constantly, like working, but it doesn't feel like work, and I actually get so much energy from working, doing this type of work, that I don't even feel like I'm working, and I have to actually force myself to go to bed at night because I'm so excited to be doing this. Are you living alone in the house? Yes, I live by myself, but I have my 2 cats, Zizu and Mashki. Where are your fur babies? They're outside. Zizu actually kind of forced me to make him an outdoor cat, an indoor and outdoor cat, and I had to work through my own control issues. So I've worked through that, and everybody's happier. He gets to go outside. He comes back around 5:30, 6 when it starts to get dark, and then he's at home and he sleeps through the night. Let me see, I'll try to go through the questions. Will I be making more fitness videos? No, because of the work I'm doing now, sorry, let me turn that off. I really don't have the time for anything else. So I won't be making videos, but I might, you know, in the future. Sorry, there's so many questions. I want to answer to everything. Hold on. Am I single? Yes, I am single. Do you work with people outside of LA? Yes, I actually work. I can do this work either on the phone or Skype. So far, I've been doing over the phone, and it works really well. So it can be from anywhere in the world. What do you love the most about your career? I love being able to see people come alive because of the kind of work that I do, and you get to let go of all the limiting beliefs and the fears, and you just like realize that you're an infinite being, that you can do and create anything that you want in the world. So that moment when the light goes on in their eyes and they become alive and they realize that anything is truly possible if you just have the courage to have the big dreams. What is your goal for this life? That's a good question. My goal is to dedicate the whole entire lifetime that I have left to creating a world based on love, peace, and abundance. I'm dedicating my life to it and doing it so far, one person at a time. Eventually, I have really big dreams of taking this work on a global scale. Okay, then you haven't been believing in God by your whole life, or you've just stopped. I don't know why you guys assume that I don't believe in God. I don't think you can possibly do this work without believing in a higher being, and that's, I guess, an interesting topic on its own, the topic of God and religion. And let me know if you want me to. Maybe I'll dedicate a whole hangout to just that, because that's like a whole other topic. What is your label with your new career? It is a lifestyle, how am I calling it? Lifestyle coach or lifestyle designer and spiritual advisor. Negatives and positives of living alone. Oh my gosh, honestly, I love being alone. I love my solitude. I am like the definition of an introvert, so I actually love being alone. And when I eventually force myself to go outside of the house and spend time with friends or run errands or do whatever, I actually lose energy. So I gain my energy from being on my own and working on my inner world and meditating and writing and all that. So what am I reading right now? I have a whole bunch of books that I'm reading, but the one I'm reading right this very moment is called Shaman Healer Sage by Alberto Villoldo. I highly recommend it if you are interested in learning more about spirituality. I highly recommend that book. Let's see, what are other questions? Where do you get your inspiration from? Who are your role models? I get my inspiration from my dreams. I can see, when I close my eyes and I meditate, I can see a world that there's no violence, there's no poverty, that we all, as a global humanity and a global family, live in peace and love and abundance. So that's where I get my inspiration and motivation. Well, who are my role models? Anybody who is a visionary and is fearless and relentless in their pursuit of making their dreams a reality, and people that devote their lifetimes to serving humanity and serving others. Those are the people that I definitely look up to. Do I live in a house? It is a house. It's a bungalow. Am I Turkish? No, I am from Azerbaijan. Talk about breast augmentation. I don't know what you guys want me to tell you about it. I already talked about it on my Instagram. I've decided to do it. It's a personal choice, and I'll leave it at that. Does all the negative comments about you lately make you feel low? How do you deal with negativity? To be honest with you, not anymore. It used to, but we've been doing this work for over 3 years now, and I have learned not to take it personally, because the negativity is really not about the person that it's being directed at. It's about the person that's creating the negativity. So I don't take it personally. I'm going to be lying if I say that it doesn't affect me, because I'm still a human being, and in the moment it does make me feel like I just want to explain myself and you don't really know the true story. But then I just kind of take a moment, take a breath, and I realize that it's not worth it. It's not about me. You can't make everybody like you, and that is not my goal. I'm not interested in people liking me. I just want everyone to realize that we're all a global family and that we can all do our part and contribute to making the world a better place for all of us to live. Do I have a boyfriend? I already answered that. I don't. I'm single. Do you know Algeria? Yes. How do you deal with jealous people? I just don't deal. I don't allow. I'm very, how do you put it? I'm very strict with who I allow to come into my world, and I don't allow anybody who is negative, whether it's in my personal life or the virtual life. If you're a negative person, you do not belong in my circle. So I don't deal with jealous people. They don't bother me. Do you know about situation in Ukraine? I don't follow news, just because there's nothing good that can come from that, because the media is just brainwashing people. So all I can do is, when I meditate, I send love and peace to the whole world, and anybody who is suffering, I send them my love, and that's the best thing you can do. Are you able to make a good living doing your work? Yes, it's enough for me. How many languages do I know? Russian, English, a little bit of Turkish, and Azeri, which is like Turkish. Do you have any advice on making friends in a new city? I would say the best way to make friends is to put yourself in situations that you're bound to find like-minded people. So let's say for me, I'm very deeply involved with spiritual work or entrepreneurial work. So go to events, look up any kind of, weekend things or workshops or anything like that that is, has to do with your interests, and then you're bound to find people that share your passion. How did you move to LA? Was it a difficult decision? It wasn't for me because I've always wanted to live here. So as soon as I felt like I was ready to face my fears and find the courage, I just went for it, and I am so happy that I made the decision to move here. How much time a day do you spend sleeping? My sleeping pattern is very unhealthy. I love the nighttime, so I'm up like really late, or rather early, I guess, 2:30, 3 in the morning, and then I sleep until like 9:30, sometimes 10. And I'm not happy with that schedule, but my body just has its own clock, and I tried to fight it, but you know what? I figured, why try to force the body to go into a different schedule when it has its own schedule? And because I work for myself, I really don't. I get to decide what schedule I want to live on, and it works for me. So I guess six hours is a minimum, 6 to 8 hours. When and how did you figure out your new path? That's a good question. I've embarked on a spiritual journey 11 years ago when we first moved to Canada. And ever since then, I've been working on my inner world and reading and enriching myself and connecting to the divine source. And this past year, 2013, has been a very profound year of a lot of inner growth. And through that, I just realized that that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And I started to walk towards that path. And as soon as you align yourself with your purpose, it's like the divine steps in and starts to support you and guide you, and everything just lines up. And so that's how I figured out that's my new path. Do you and Mimi have a good relationship after breaking up from Luxy Hair channel? Absolutely. Mimi and I are obviously sisters, and we're like best friends. So we have an amazing relationship, and we all want each other to be happy. So they want me to be happy. I want them to be happy. I'm happy here, and they're happy there. And that's the way life works. You got to figure out what makes you happy and go for it. Where would you like to visit in the country? I'm not sure what you mean by that. In the States or in the world? I want to travel the whole world. I want to see everything. Let's see. That's a good question. What is my biggest insecurity and fear? To be honest with you, I have worked through all my fears, so I can say confidently now that I don't really have any fears, because I realize it's a very deep conversation, but yeah, I'll leave it at that. I don't have any fears, but I do have insecurities, and like everybody else, I doubt my abilities. I doubt that, can I really make a huge contribution in the world? Can I really, help make the world a better place and help other people? So I do, I question it, but then I know that that's a part of me that's ego, and that's not who I am, and that's just ego's job, is to pose those insecurities in front of you. So I just work through that, and meditation is huge, and self-reflection and contemplation. When you do that inner work, all that stuff just comes and goes. It's like a wave, Let's see. Are you planning to travel to Hungary? I would love to one day. When are you planning to get married? That's a funny question. I don't think you can plan to get married. I think when you meet somebody who you know is the right person for you, and it feels like the right time, then you get married. I don't think you can plan it. And there's a squirrel that just ran through the yard. Am I still dancing salsa? You know what? I haven't been, because I've been so busy and so like immersed in this world. And every week I tell myself, I'm gonna go. I haven't. I've went, I think, twice since I've moved to LA, and I haven't been since. What's my favorite dish? I love anything that is healthy and green. I love salads. I love veggies. I love fruit. Okay, let's see. Who is your biggest inspiration? Again, anybody who is fearless and courageous enough to go out there and make their dreams possibility. Anybody who has a vision of making the world a better place. Let's see, how do you meditate? That's a good question. Meditation is very misunderstood, and I think for me, the way I understand it, it is basically making space for stillness, because our minds have so much noise and so much going on that we just don't know how to even be present in the moment for the most part, most people. So meditation is just making peace and making space for stillness. So it can be, you know, as something as simple as just sitting outside in nature and just observing trees and observing whatever, or it can just be like listening to some music and just sitting quietly and observing your thoughts. And it is a I would say that it takes practice though, and when you first start, it is not easy to quiet your mind, and that's not even the point, to quiet the mind. I think it's about taking yourself out, becoming the observer, and understanding that your thoughts are not really who you are. Your thoughts are a combination of your conditioning, of your environment, and all of that. But that's a whole other topic. Do you still have your cats? Yes. Mashki's outside right now running after the squirrel, and Zizou's somewhere. How do you know if you're in love? Ooh, that's a good question. How do you know when you're in love? I think you know when you look at a person and you feel like you've known them your whole life, and your souls just connect, and you can stay there and look into each other's eyes and stare into each other's eyes for hours and not even say a word. I think that's how you know you're in love, when you just have that type of connection. Let's see, is it just me, or does she not want to answer if she's part of Lexi? I am not. I did answer it. Lexi, Alex and Mimi are taking care of the Lexi Hair channel and business, and I have moved on to other things. So that's the answer. Would you recommend an app to meditate? I don't have any apps that I use, but I would, if you are interested in meditation, I would search on YouTube guided meditations, and there's so many different kinds. Just see what speaks to you, see what speaks to your soul. Let's see, do I have any book recommendations? I'm actually planning, when I launch my new website, I'm going to have a whole section dedicated to book recommendations and also documentaries. I've been watching a lot of documentaries, so hang in there. Once the website is up, I'll have all the books that I've ever read that have made a difference in my life. I'll have it on the website. What's your New Year's resolution? I personally don't believe in New Year's resolutions. For me, every day that I wake up is a new day, a new year, and a new world. So my goal is to be a peaceful, loving, compassionate, kind human being every single day of my life. So perhaps that could be a resolution. I don't know. Let's see. Are you planning on writing any books? I am, actually. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I'm in a very, very early stages of research, but I do plan on sharing my thoughts and my experiences in a book one day. Let's see. What website are you planning launching? It's just going to be a website to kind of like talk about everything that I'm doing now, and it's hard to explain. Once it's up, you guys will know. How did the death of your cat affect you? It was hard, obviously. He was a family member. He was with us for 16 years, and took about a year to really heal from that. And eventually I realized that his physical body's gone, but his spirit is always going to be with me and connected to me. So, key to happiness. There's so many ways to answer that question. Key to happiness is to be present in the moment, because most of our fears and insecurities and everything else is just here in the mind and doesn't really exist. It's an illusion. So if you can train your mind to be present, then you will be happy, because there's so much beauty to see in the world around us. Let's see. Can you do a blog post about getting rid of clutter and simplifying life? I don't really think you need a video on that. Just get rid of anything that you don't use and that you don't love, and leave things that you actually use every day and that are inspiring to you. So beautiful, maybe flowers and artwork and maybe some accessories, and just really simplify your life. It makes things a lot easier. Let's see. Questions are going so fast. Let's see. One book that changed your life. honestly, every single book that I read is changing my life at some level. But the first book that has started this journey on a spiritual quest was, and I highly recommend it to this day, is by Neil Donald Walsh, and it's called Conversations with God, and book 3 is the one that I read. That's the one that started this whole journey. Do you currently have a love life? I have a love life with life. I love everything and everyone, from trees to grass to animals to people that I encounter. That's my love life. Do you have a random advice for me? Random advice? Live your life, follow your dreams. Okay, let's see. Are they repeating? I can't tell if these repeating themselves. How do you? Would you like to make yourself what? Self what? Wait. I can't even read. They're going so fast. Would you like to make videos about self-improvement? Honestly, I just don't have the time to make videos right now. I'm so busy with everything else. But if you want self-improvement tips, I'm sharing a lot on my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So follow me there for, tidbits of inspiration. Yoga benefits. Oh my God, there's so many. I'm actually getting more and more into yoga now, and it is yoga. Why it's amazing? It's because it's a practice of mind, body, and spirit all in one. It's not even about the physical exercise. Most of it is about mental. So I highly recommend yoga to everybody. Let's see. How can I move to LA from Toronto? Do you have a website with info? I have no clue where to begin. I would start by going to a consultation with an immigration lawyer and just talking about your particular case with your lawyer, because it's different for everybody. So that's that. How did you become independent? I don't really know how to answer that question. I think we're all independent human beings, whether or not we know it or we choose to depend on other people. It's a personal choice. Everybody is independent from the moment you are able to take care of yourself. How do you know that you are living the life that you are living and not the life that happened to you? I'm not sure what that means. I think when you go to sleep at night, if you can be at peace with knowing that I don't even know how to answer that question. I think if you can, in the moment of stillness, if you know that you're making the best decisions for yourself and you're following your own intuition and your own inner guidance, then you're living the life that you're supposed to live. I don't really know. Do you have any regrets in life? I don't. And the reason is because I know that every single experience that happens to you or to us, it's because it's part of your journey, it's part of your lessons, it's part of your evolution, and it's part of growth. So I love and am so grateful for every single experience, especially the challenging ones, because we don't really grow in moments of happiness. We grow in moments of sadness and challenging moments. So let's see. Key to become more confident. That's a good question. I would say confidence comes from acting, like applying things that you know into your life. So setting a goal and achieving that goal will give you confidence, because you know that you can accomplish things, and that sense of accomplishment gives you confidence. Let's see. What do you think about getting older and getting wrinkles? I think it's beautiful. I think it should be celebrated, like I'm starting to get wrinkles now, obviously, because I'm going to be 30 in June, and I think it's beautiful. I think it's like, it shows how you live your life, Our skin is like an imprint of your constant emotions. If you're someone that is joyful and laughs a lot, you're going to have laugh lines, and it's like amazing. When you look at someone, you know that they're a happy person. If you're always like this, then you're going to have these wrinkles here. So don't frown. Laugh more. Life is about being joyful and being happy with just finding little things that to be happy about, like having a cup of tea and reading a book. And well, I'm an introvert. Maybe if you're an extrovert, then it's spending time with friends or whatever. Am I in Los Angeles? Yes. God, the questions are going so fast. Am I Muslim? I guess that goes back to the conversation on religion. I personally am deeply spiritual, and I don't believe in organized religions, but I accept and love every single religion, because at the core, every religion teaches the same principles. So I honor every religion, but I don't subscribe to any, because life to me goes way deeper than religion, because religion was created through God but using human beings like messengers, you know, and I go way deeper than that, but that's a whole other conversation. How do you deal with people who pressure you to have a boyfriend or marry by a certain age? I don't really deal with them. I just don't allow them to be in my life. I'm lucky and blessed to have parents that don't pressure me, because they know better not to. Because we had many conversations, and you know, they know that I'm doing my best with my life, and when I'm a very picky person, because I have high standards on myself, and so for me to be with someone else, it's got to be someone who is, you know, who is at the same level, and I just haven't, you know, that person hasn't come into my life yet. Would you like to visit Italy? I've actually been to Italy, and I love it there. It's beautiful, but I would definitely want to go back. How do you socialize with people confidently? Again, it's about finding people that are like-minded to you. If you have the same interests, then I think it will be a lot easier to find common ground, and you will just get along because you guys are interested in the same topics. Is money important for you? Money to me is a tool to live the lifestyle that you want to live. So money is not important to me, but it is important for me to live the lifestyle that I want to live. And unfortunately, the way the society is set up, we need money to have the lifestyle that we want. So in that regard, you know, money is just a tool to have the lifestyle that you want to live. Do you miss living in Canada? To be honest with you, I don't. What's there to miss? It's freezing there right now, and I'm always cold. Like right now, it is a little bit gloomy. I'm just going to look up the temperature, and I'm cold. It's not even cold for like regular standards, but I'm cold. I'm always cold. I have the heat on right now because I'm freezing. It's 68 Fahrenheit in LA, and I'm cold. So what do you think about what happened in the world? Do you visit Qatar? I think there's always polarities of what's happening in the world. There's a lot of horrible and just horrific things that are happening, and then there's another side of a lot of beautiful things happening. So it's always the polarity, and the more we can concentrate on the good, the more the bad is gonna dissolve and cease. So I say put your focus on positivity and spreading your light and spreading love, and the other stuff will get taken care of. Tips on what kind of yoga to choose. I mean, if you've never done yoga, I say just start with the basics, you know, breathing techniques and maybe just very basic vinyasa flows and things like that. Again, there's so much stuff on YouTube. You don't even have to spend money. Just Google beginner yoga, or I mean YouTube, and you will find a ton of stuff on that. It's snowing in Toronto right now. I know, I was talking to my parents and they said it's really cold. Do you want to have children and give birth? Absolutely. I am so ready to be a mom. I can't wait to be a mom. I'm really, really excited about that. And I want to give birth, and I want to adopt kids in the future, definitely. Maybe I'll start by adopting. We'll see how it goes. How do you choose a career? Can you give me a few general tips? Good question. Choose something that you're passionate about. I know it's like it's a cliche thing to say, and it's very easy to say that, but I think if you find something that like your heart comes alive and you just can spend hours doing that thing, that's how you know that that's like a career path for you, and that's how you know that you're not going to work a day in your life, because you love what you do. So do I want to have children? I just answered that. We know you don't make videos for Luxy anymore, but are you still business partners in that business? I think that's a personal question, so I will leave that there. I don't make videos anymore, but that's that. Does people recognize you in the streets? Yeah, people do, and I love when people come up and, you know, say hello and give a hug. It's just very interesting experience, because the people that you're meeting, they know everything about you, but you don't know anything about them. So it's kind of always awkward on my end, because I don't really know what to say, but I do. I really love and I really enjoy when people come up and say hello and we can hug, and it's really special. Do you watch Bollywood movies? I haven't in a long time, but when we were growing up in Azerbaijan, we used to watch Indian and Bollywood movies with our family. My grandpa used to love them. I remember watching it. How do you forgive people that has disappointed you? I don't have expectations of people, so I've learned to let go of expectations, and when you let go of expectations, then automatically disappointment leaves the equation, because what leads to disappointment is having expectations. So I don't have I don't expect people to do or be a certain way. I just accept everyone just the way they are, and if I don't like someone or if someone annoys me or frustrates me, I just don't spend any time with them, and I just like leave that person out of my life. So how do you stay positive about not finding the one? I think you have to focus on yourself and focus on your inner world and focus on improving things about yourself and growing and learning. And when you change your focus from, you know, what you don't have to things that you do have, that's when you find your grounding. Let's see, why did you move to LA? I think I answered that before, but I moved here because I've always known in my heart that I'm going to be happy here, and it's just a great example of following your intuition. I've never been happier. So follow your intuition, and if you do, you will find your happiness. Would you consider being a Buddhist? I definitely love what the Buddhist religion and teachings talk about, and I incorporate parts of it into my life, but I personally do not like any kind of labels, so I don't subscribe to any particular thing. I just kind of learn and study from everything, and I pick things that resonate with my soul and that make sense to me, and I incorporate it into my life. But I don't need to have a label of, you know, this or that or whatever. I personally don't have the need for that. So let's see. Will you ever take up painting? I actually used to paint, and I have been feeling the muses coming back about painting. I need to start. I feel like I will one day. Right now I'm really busy building many different projects, so I don't have the inspiration, but once I'm more settled into a life and like a flow here, I definitely will start painting. You said you love solitude, but aren't there moments when you need a partner's affection? Wouldn't you like to have someone to share all the happiness and all your dreams? Absolutely, I would. But you know, if for some reason, you know, it hasn't happened, then there's a reason for it. And of course, it's really special and nice to share your life with someone. But if you don't have someone, then I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna focus on not having it. I'm gonna put my focus on what I do have. You know, my beautiful animals and my friends and my family. So I get that love from them, as opposed to thinking that, oh, I don't have someone right now, so I'm going to just sit here and wallow in that. Listen, I'm 29, so I've gone through the stages of, you know, feeling like I'm not good enough and, oh, what's wrong with me? Why can't I find someone? But you work through that, and you get to go through that and get on the other side, and you become a better and stronger person because of those experiences. So let's see. Any tips for studying for exams? Focus on what you're doing. You know, I guess get rid of the phone or any distractions, and just kind of put yourself in a little bubble of just studying, and you'll be fine. Let's see. Favorite song? I don't know. Actually, a friend of mine, Brittany, yesterday introduced me to this band, Civil Wars, and they have a lot of good songs. So that's just the one that comes to mind right now. Let's see. Are you living near the beach? Are you going there every day? No, unfortunately, I don't live by the beach. I'm living in the Valley. If you know LA, that's where I'm living now. It's about 30, 35, maybe 40 minutes away from the beach. And I try to go as much as I can, but no, I don't live by the beach right now. Any advice on how to kick addictions? That's a good question. I would say it needs to be a very deep process. Perhaps get outside help, but the way I would do it is self-reflect and see whatever the addiction is, see why you're addicted to that thing. Because usually an addiction is linked to having a void inside, and you're trying to fill that void with that addiction. So try to figure out and ask yourself questions on why you're addicted to that thing, because I feel like when you can find out why you're doing it, it makes it a lot easier to start on the healing process and, you know, getting rid of that addiction. Let's see. Am I ending this channel? No, I mean, the channel is going to be there. I'm just not going to post any videos because I think the videos that are up are good videos and people can keep watching them. And, you know, I don't see the point of removing the videos. And I'm also thinking of maybe doing these hangouts every few weeks or once a month or something like that. Let me know what you guys think. Would you want me to have them, you know, every so often so we can connect that way? Can you give us some lifestyle tips? What's your diet and healthy lifestyle tips? Yeah, I mean, what would I give you? What kind of advice? Stop eating anything that is processed and comes out of a box, and eat as much as possible. Eat whole foods, meaning like whole vegetables and fruits and things that you can find in the produce aisle versus the frozen section aisle or any boxed stuff, and try to eat a plant-based diet as much as possible. Be active, minimum 30 minutes of something active during the day. Meditation is incredibly important. So those would be, if you start with that, then you're well on your way to a really happy and healthy lifestyle. Will I do a house tour? Honestly, there is really no reason for me to do a house tour because the same furniture that I had in the other house got moved here, so it would pretty much look the same except that the walls and the room configuration is different. So I really don't see a point in doing a house tour. Let's see. When do you feel most happy? That's a really good question. Recently, when I'm in nature, I have this really big tree in my backyard, and every time I'm outside, and I have this meditation bench, and I just sit there, and Mashke comes over and wants me to pet her, and I'm in nature and I connect to Mother Earth, and I just sit there and I appreciate the moment. That's when I feel the most happiest and at peace. Are you finished with the confidence classes you went to in LA? It wasn't confidence classes. MIT was about emotional intelligence and learning to heal past traumatic experiences in life. And yes, I'm finished with that. I did the basic and advanced, and it was the best decision of my life. How do you figure out what you're passionate about? Let's see, how would I answer that? I think most people know what they're passionate about, and through life you forget because you get too busy and distracted doing things that you are not passionate about, so you kind of like forget what you're passionate about. I think the best way to remember would be go back to childhood and try to remember what was that thing that you could do for hours. You know, if you're, let's say you were, I don't know, you could sit and play with toys all day long and do dress up and stuff, so maybe you're passionate about fashion. Maybe you could spend hours playing in the dirt, you know, maybe you're then, I don't know, like, I don't know, a biologist or something because you like working with, I don't know, I'm not really answering this question well, but you know what I'm saying. Go back to childhood and try to remember anything that you could do for hours, and like you could just jump out of bed and do and love that process. That's a good way to remember what you're passionate about. What do you recommend to do for a healthy lunch for someone who has school? I would say the best way is make an extra portion for dinner and then pack that as your lunch. Because you know, who has time to cook all the time? It's a really time-consuming process. So when I cook a lot, so then I can have, you know, the same thing, an extra portion for the next day. Let's see. What do you do for a living? What kind of projects are you into now? I already talked about it. I'm starting a new practice of lifestyle coaching and spiritual advising. What are my hobbies? To be honest with you, I can say that I'm so blessed because my life right now is a hobby. Like it feels like a hobby because I really enjoy what I'm doing. So yeah. Do you plan to make a swing on your in your backyard? It would be amazing for you. That's a good idea, except that I don't. I'm renting this place, so I'm gonna be moving out of here soon. So, but in my future house, I would definitely love to have a swing or a hammock. That would be amazing. Favorite season? Summer. How can you not love summer? Summer, summer, summer by far. How do you spend free time? I don't really have any free time right now because every moment that I have, I'm reading or self-educating or creating projects or writing or whatever. So I really don't have free time. I fill my time with things that I enjoy doing and that, you know, that I can educate myself on. Are you naturally an organized person? Yes, most definitely. I cannot function. If my environment is messy, then my mind is messy and I just cannot function. Where do you find your current clients? It has been word of mouth because I haven't even launched officially, so it's just been word of mouth. People have a great experience and they feel transformed, so then they tell their friends and it's just been like that. Do you miss your sister? I mean, yes and no. I don't really miss her because we talk all the time, so I feel like we're always connected. So, but I mean, it would be really nice to see her soon. Any tips about loneliness and not having friends? Let's see. I would say go out there and put yourself in places and events and situations. Again, I think I've answered that before, with people that have the same interest as you, and you're bound to have common ground, and you're bound to find, people that you can start friendships with. Any tips for starting your own business? I mean, it's a very broad question. I don't really know how to answer that in a broad sense. I would say, again, go back to something you're passionate about and think of bringing value, and think of a really good video to look up online is by Simon Sinek, and it's something he talks about the why of why you want to start a business. Start with that video, because you want to think of why you're creating the type of business you're creating. People connect to the deep reason why, not just to create another product or service, but you're trying to solve a deep need that people have. And if people connect to that bigger vision, then you have a good start, good solid start. Would you approve of someone moving to be near family? I'm not sure what that means. Would you approve of someone moving to be near family? Yeah, why not? Did you like going to school? No, I really, really, really disliked going to school. Did not like going to school. What is your favorite place in LA? Good question. I love West Hollywood. I love the Self-Realization Center. I love Malibu. Definitely by the ocean. Okay, we have 10 minutes left, guys. So if you have any questions that I haven't answered, go ahead and ask. Let's see. I'm from Toronto, and my dream would be to move to LA. What is your advice? I think I've answered it before. Definitely go and have a consultation with a lawyer, an immigration lawyer, and see what your options are, because it will depend on, it's very case by case. So that would be my advice. My biggest passion is serving people. What time do you wake up? Right now, probably between 9:30 and 10 in the morning, because I go to sleep at like 3 a.m. Not good, I know. Do you read fiction books? If so, what are your favorites? For the most part, I don't, because I have so many books that I want to read on self-educating, so I don't really find the time to read fiction. Let's see, your favorite meal dish that you have for breakfast? I have, what do you call it? Free-range eggs. I get from a farm that I know that the chickens are free roaming, and I have eggs either in boiled eggs with avocado, tomatoes, or I have it like fried. I don't know how to taste. Or an omelet. Yeah, omelet's good too. Let's see. Oh my God, it's going so fast. Whoa, I can't even read it. Do you meet your friends often? Yeah, I meet them about once a week. Am I leaving YouTube? I mean, not leaving, because the videos will be there, but I won't be posting any more new videos, except for maybe hangouts like this. I like this. We get to connect. I really like that. Did I go to college? Yes, I went to Humber College in Toronto, and I studied interior design. Let's see. What car do I drive? Why does it matter? I drive a white car. Let's see. These questions are repeating themselves. Can you give any tips on becoming more independent? I guess find independent. What would I say about that? I mean, I guess independence depends what you mean by independence. If you mean like financially independent, then try to find a job that gives you enough income to live the lifestyle that you want to live. I'm not really sure what you mean by that exactly. Love your cookbook. That is not my cookbook, but thank you. It's Mimi's cookbook, and it is awesome. Do I have a boyfriend? I've already answered that. I don't right now. What are your favorite fruits and veggies? Fruits and veggies. I love everything. Cucumbers are like, I've been craving cucumbers all the time. You experience problems with rhinoplasty? No, no problems. Thank God. I love my nose. So happy that I did it. Let's see. What's your biggest regret? I don't have any. Did you work as an interior designer? Not really. I mean, I worked with a few clients, like one-on-one, and I did a few little projects, but right when I finished school and was getting into design, we started Luxy Hair business, so I started to go in that path. What languages would you like to learn? I would love to learn Spanish and Italian, definitely. Have you visited England? Do you like London? I've actually never been to England, but I definitely would love to visit. And now that since Mimi, of course, lives in London, I'll be visiting soon. Advice for someone who can't keep motivation on a healthy diet? I guess start with your reasons why you wouldn't want to eat healthy, because I think there's a deeper problem there. If you love your body, if you love yourself, then you would never want to do anything consciously to abuse your body. And knowing that unhealthy food is not good for you, start with that. Like, start with why you don't want to eat healthy. Favorite sweets? I don't really like sweets. I know it sounds crazy, but I'd rather have like pickles and salty things than have sweets. Will you have a meetup? I'm not really planning one anytime soon, but if I ever have one, I will definitely announce it on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Are you following 4-hour work week? No, not really, because I'm working pretty much 24/7. Even in my dreams, I get like tips on what to do with my business now. So no, it's definitely not 4-hour work week. It's like 24-hour work week, but I love it, so it doesn't feel like work. Have you practiced life coaching yet? Yes, I'm working with people right now, and it's awesome. Do you love to visit Estonia? Absolutely, I would love to visit all countries of the world. If you ever decide to do YouTube again, are you going to do any spiritual lifestyle coaching YouTube videos? I don't think so, because it's very hard for me to do it on a broad sort of platform. I prefer to do it one-to-one because everybody's perspectives are so different, and for me to give general advice, I just don't think that I would want to do that right now. Maybe in the future, I'm not sure. Which superpower would you like to have? I think that I'm cultivating superpowers right now. I think that I can start to read people's minds in a way, which sounds crazy, but I'm kind of getting good at that. How would you name your children, girl or boy? I don't know yet. I would have to probably feel that when the baby would be in my tummy. I would ask for guidance on the name, and the name would come to me. How would we get to work with you? I would say that right now I'm not accepting new clients, but when I'm ready to launch the website, I will have an application form because I'm very selective with who I choose to work with. So you would have to apply, and then I would have to see if we were a match. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have about 3 minutes left, guys. Are you planning for your future? No, I'm planning for today, and the future will take care of itself. Have you been to Montreal? Yes, I love Montreal. It's beautiful. Okay, let's see. What do you love the most about yourself? I love that I'm compassionate and empathetic, and I can really feel other people's pain, and that makes me relate to people. Any tips for sadness and being bored all the time? Yeah, I don't really know how people get bored. There's so much to learn in the world. Find something that you are passionate about and like immerse yourself in that world, and you will never be bored again. Okay, let's see. You talked about not reading news. Shouldn't we be aware of the world's problems in order to help people? If it speaks to you, I personally don't see a point. I know the general problems of the world, and that is violence and war and poverty, and the governments are not good. So it's enough for me to know those general issues and then focus on coming up with practical solutions to those issues. So that's how I look at it. Let's see. Do you believe in luck, fate, or hard work or choice? That is a great question. I don't believe in luck. I believe that the harder you work, let me rephrase that. I believe that if you align yourself with your life's purpose and your life's mission, and you work hard at making that vision a reality, then the divine power steps in and provides you with opportunities, and you meet people, and all of a sudden you like get this idea, and it's not necessarily luck. It's just when you align yourself with your mission, then you know you get divine guidance and you get divine support. That's definitely how it's been working for me personally. Let's see. Okay, 1 minute, guys. What's my zodiac? Gemini. Who would you want to meet, dead or alive? Mother Teresa, definitely. One of the most compassionate human beings, and she's just someone that I really aspire to be like. All right, let's see. Kisses from Brussels. Mwah. Sending you all my love, and I really had a great time, and I will be announcing the next, I really like doing this, so I think I'll start maybe every 2 weeks or once a month, and I'll be announcing the next live stream on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. So follow me there. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for all the wonderful questions. Do I pray? Last question. Yes, I think prayer is very important. Have faith, dream big, anything is possible, and focus on making yourself a better human being, and then the world around you will change. That will be my last closing thought. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!